In September 2013, Donald Trump posted this on social media. Remember what I previously said. Obama will someday attack Iran in order to show how tough he is. In November of that same year, he posted, Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled. In 2012, he posted, now that Obama's poll numbers are in tailspin, watch for him to launch a strike in Libya or Iran. He is desperate. Trump typed those words. Trump posted them publicly. Trump was certain he had figured out the pattern. The desperate president, the failing poll numbers, the manufactured war, the cynical distraction. And then on February 28, 2026, Donald Trump's own poll numbers in tailspin, Donald Trump launched the biggest American military assault since the Iraq War against Iran. And Iran's foreign minister screenshotted every single one of those posts and shared them with the entire world. The man who saw the trap walked straight into it, and the world watched it happen in real time. Welcome. Subscribe right now because today we are going to do something that makes the political class in Washington deeply uncomfortable. We are going to hold up a mirror, a historical mirror, and show you side by side how every American president for the last 23 years has made the same fundamental mistake in the Middle East. Different names, different enemies, different speeches, same trap, same outcome, same consequences. And now, for the third time in a generation, the most powerful nation on earth is staring at the same wall it has hit twice before. Let's go. Let's start in January 2003. George W. Bush stands before Congress. He warns of a grave danger from a dictator armed with weapons of mass destruction. He describes a ticking clock. He paints an enemy so dangerous, so imminent, so certain that the only responsible choice is military action. He has total air dominance, total military superiority, total confidence that it will be over quickly. He tells Republicans behind closed doors it could be over soon. He launches the operation, and 4 days later, he calls it a massive and ongoing military campaign alongside Israel that he warns up front could cost American lives. The script is identical, only the names changed. Now, here is the detail that should make every American stop breathing for a moment. The administration that explicitly promised not to repeat Bush's mistakes. The administration that built its entire political identity on repudiating the foreign policy legacy of the Bush dynasty. The administration whose defense secretary stood at the Pentagon podium this week and said this is not endless nation building under those types of quagmires we saw under Bush or Obama. It's not even close. And yet, every single structural feature of the Bush trap is present in 2026. An intelligence community that contradicted the case for war before it began. A president who launched the operation without fully preparing the public with a compelling narrative. A shifting set of war aims that change with every press conference. A complete absence of a plan for the day after. An adversary that did not collapse as predicted. And a domestic political dynamic that is turning toxic faster than anyone in the White House anticipated. Like this video right now, because what comes next in this historical comparison is the part that should terrify every American, regardless of politics. Let's talk about Obama. Because Bush is not the only mirror. Obama walked into a different version of the same trap, and Trump spent years mocking him for it. Obama entered the presidency promising to end Bush's wars. He pulled troops from Iraq. He gave a speech in Cairo promising a new beginning with the Muslim world. And then he tried to win Afghanistan with a surge. And Afghanistan ground him down for 8 years. And then he tried to negotiate with Iran, and he got a nuclear deal that his successor tore up. And throughout those 8 years, Trump sat on the sidelines posting on social media, certain he had figured out what Obama was doing wrong. Too weak, too much negotiating, not skilled. The deal was terrible. Obama ultimately secured a deal with Iran and never attacked it. Trump now attacks Iran repeatedly, including after failing to negotiate his own version of the exact same deal he spent years attacking Obama for making. Think about the full irony of that sentence. Trump's envoys went to Geneva to negotiate an agreement not unlike the Iranian nuclear accord forged by Obama, the very deal Trump excoriated, withdrew from, called the worst deal in history. His own team was in Geneva trying to recreate it, and then the bombs fell instead. And now here is where the historical parallel becomes almost unbearably precise. The political dynamic that is eating Trump from the inside right now is the exact same dynamic that Bush warned about in 2003. You don't run for office in a democracy and say, "Please vote for me, I promise you war." Bush said that to American troops in the Middle East. He understood the political trap even as he was walking into it. And now Trump, who built his political identity on being smarter than Bush, on learning from Bush, on being the anti-Bush, is facing the same political wall at the same structural moment. His own party is in trouble. His poll numbers have declined substantially. Republicans are facing a difficult midterm election because of that. The Iran war is not popular, not with independents, not with the public, and most shockingly, not even with the voters who put Trump in the White House. 59% of Americans oppose this war. That number is historic. When Bush invaded Iraq, 72% of Americans supported it. When Obama surged in Afghanistan, most Americans still believed the mission was just. Trump launched this war with 59% opposition from the very first week. There was no rally around the flag, no patriotic surge, just immediate, sustained majority opposition. And why? Because Trump did almost none of the storytelling that every president before him used to prepare the country for war. Roosevelt gave speech after speech for months before Pearl Harbor. Bush spent nearly 2 years building the narrative for Iraq. Trump devoted 3 minutes to Iran in a nearly 2-hour State of the Union address 5 days before the bombs fell. 3 minutes. And then a war started, and 55% of Americans told Marist pollsters that Iran is a minor threat or no threat at all. The public was never brought along. The case was never made. The story was never told. That is the mistake that doomed this war politically before the first bomb fell. And now, the exit options mirror the ones Bush faced in 2006 and Obama faced in 2014 with painful precision. Every scenario ends badly. Stay in and the economic damage compounds, the casualties mount, the midterm losses deepen. Exit and the enemy celebrates a victory it will use to recruit, rearm, and rebuild for the next confrontation. Declare victory on Trump's terms, and the regime is still standing, the strait is still under threat, the nuclear material is still unaccounted for, and Iran's new supreme leader is still in a bunker calling it a triumph. There is genuinely no clean exit, and that is the trap. That has always been the trap that destroyed Bush's presidency, the trap that defined Obama's foreign policy legacy. The trap that Trump spent years diagnosing from the outside with absolute certainty. The trap he called Obama desperate for approaching. The trap he is now inside. 16 days in, 13 Americans dead, 59% of the public opposed, 5 allies refusing to send ships, oil above $100, his own intelligence community contradicting his justifications, history on one side of him and a closed strait on the other. Trump saw the trap, described the trap, mocked every president who fell into it, and then when his own poll numbers went into a tailspin, he fell into it himself. 3 posts from 2012 and 2013, 1 war in 2026. Iran's foreign minister screenshotted all 3 and sent them to the world. History did not just repeat itself. It repeated itself in the handwriting of the man it was repeating for. Drop everything you are thinking in the comments right now. Is Trump making the same mistakes as Bush? Is there any version of this war that ends differently than Iraq and Afghanistan? Subscribe to this channel immediately. Share this video with everyone who needs to understand what history is telling us right now. We will see you in the next one.